Welcome to the Melissa Banks Show. I'm your host, Melissa Banks, and I'm excited you decided to join us today. This show is all about celebrating the journeys of authors, entrepreneurs, people who are boldly chasing their dreams, creating meaningful products and services, and inspiring you to do the same. Each episode will uncover the stories behind the successes, the lessons learned from challenges, and the advice that can spark action in your own life. My goal is simple, is to remind you that your dreams are possible and to leave you feeling inspired and empowered. So let's get started with today's show. Today's guest is best-selling author Christopher Thurman. Welcome to the show, Christopher.
Thanks for having me, Melissa.
I'm excited to talk to you about your new bestseller, Basement Dreams: From Sitting in the Basement to Walking in God's Purpose. Did you hear the power just in the title? It is so powerful. Wow. So talk to me about the basement. What is it that the basement represents in your life story?
Well, it represents a place in my life where I reflected and had thoughts and of where I wanted to be, thoughts of depression, thoughts of happiness. Like a lot of things took place in the basement.
I love the idea of the analogy of the basement. So can you share with us maybe a challenge that you were experiencing that gave you that thought to call it the basement season?
Well, when I lost my first cousin, whom I considered my brother, a lot of my friends and family just felt like I stayed in the basement a lot, and their saying was, we need to get him out the basement. We need to get him out the basement, because I was literally in my grandmother's basement. Like that's where I was. It was like my fortress of solitude. So that's where it came from. Like everybody in my family and friends was like, "Oh, we need to get him out the basement. We need to get him out the basement."
I love that because there's so many times. There are different times in my own journey that I felt that way. I never really thought of it like that, but once you thought of it like that and explained it, it is really powerful, and that's what makes this look so powerful. Was there, Chris? Was there a specific moment when you realized that God was calling you for something greater?
I can't pinpoint one, but like where I'm at now, it's like I look back and I feel and see that He was always there. Like my time in the basement, or my time in like my bedroom, or my times alone, when I would sit there and talk with Him, and it would feel like he wasn't answering, or He wasn't responding, but in actuality He was, and it just everything was in His time. And so I can't really pinpoint one. Every time when I thought I was alone or He wasn't listening, He was definitely listening. So I can't really pinpoint one.
I love that. I love that, Chris. But when you were talking, I was thinking about my own journey, right? I often say there was a dark season in my journey, but now that I look at it and I keep calling it the dark season, but in reality, it was a turning point season, and God was working and bringing me out of it. And I thought of it as you were talking just now.
Yeah. That's good right there, because even in the dark season, like he's there. Once you get through it, it's like, wow, He was actually there. It could have been worse, but Him being there and knowing that He was there makes it all easy.
Absolutely. Chris, I want you to talk to us about some of your fears. For me, as I stepped into something new, those fears always kept popping up, or I considered something a challenge, and it made me feel the fear. Did you feel some fear in writing this book? Because I know this was new to you as well. And if so, how were you able to overcome it?
Well, I still have fear about talking in public, and yeah, I'm still fearful of that. And the writing of the book was nervous. I wouldn't say fear, but nervous. And but what overcame was knowing that my wife who is someone like me, quiet, or was quiet and not in front of the camera too much. But the way she changed and started to open up and glow more, she gave me the strength. Seeing her being able to do it, I was like, well, I can do it too. I can do it.
That's powerful, though, Chris. I talked to your mom earlier, and she mentioned Kate as well, and how she
Mm-hmm.
pushed her and encouraged her. It's so important to have people like Kate that you see. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
she wasn't always in front of the camera, but now she's just
Mm-hmm.
a pro, and she just keeps going. So that is great to have someone. I talk about that often. Is to make sure you have people around you that you're looking at, that you're listening to. So when you do have those moments that you feel nervous or fear, you can look at those people that pushes you. And that's so
Mm-hmm.
important. How wonderful it is to have your wife do that. Let me
Yeah.
reset here, Chris, if you will. This is the Melissa Banks Show. Our guest today is best-selling author Christopher Thurman. We're talking about his best-selling book, Basement Dreams: From Sitting in the Basement to Walking in God's Purpose. Well, writing the book, one of the things that I've learned in writing, and I'm a new author, I haven't been an author a long time, but one of the things that I have realized that sometimes when you're recounting your story, I'm in the process of writing my memoir coming out later this year. And what I
Okay.
found out is sometimes talking about it, it
Mm-hmm.
can get you into a place, it can be emotional for you. Did you have moments like that when you were writing this book?
Yes, yes. There's definitely moments like that, and then I always don't admit that I'm getting older and trying to remember in some things. My dates be off, so it's like I don't claim getting older, but it is something that does happen. So
It's
those
funny you
times like
mentioned
that.
dates. Yeah, you mentioned
Mhm.
dates, and my process. I'm working with someone, of course, and writing it, and he would ask me, "Well, what date that happened?" And I'm thinking, "Well, I don't know."
Yeah.
That is a big thing, and but I also realized that in talking about, even though some of the moments are emotional, it's
Mhm.
healing too. Because
Yes, it
once you
is.
talk about it, and you're able to see where you were, where your thoughts were, and it is a healing process. I don't know if you felt that way when you were writing this book as well.
Oh yes, yes, absolutely.
And what lessons, Chris, did you learn while you were in the basement that prepared you for the purpose you're walking in now?
Um, I learned patience. Um, I learned that also while in the basement, I learned that God is always listening to you and He's always there. Um, I've learned strength and loneliness. Like I'm not scared to be alone. I found strength in just sitting there by myself and honing in on just me and making me stable so I can be stable for others. Um, uh, and being like in that basement, it grounded me. Like
Mhm.
it's like I built myself up from the bottom. Yeah. So my base is kind of sturdy.
I love that you were in the basement, but it builds you up
Hmm.
for your greater. I love
Yeah.
that. When someone who's reading your book, Chris, right now, what is the message or a lesson you hope they that stays with them long after they put the book down?
That God is always with you. He's always there, and through Him, all things are possible. And God's time is always the right time.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I love that.
Hmm.
Okay, so Chris, there's someone who's listening right now, and they're in their basement season, and they're feeling all the emotions, all the fears, all the darkness that season tend to bring. Talk to directly to them and how you would, how they can, their faith in God can help them continue to move forward.
Uh, they should pause, stop, and take a deep breath and ask God to calm the storm and to let them know that they're not alone. And from there, he will show up. And they have to be open because he may show up in a movie, because I watched a lot of movies in the basement too. So I'll ask him or talk with God, and he'll show up in a movie, like in a movie scene, something simple to where uh the character will say, "You're not alone. I am here." Like little things like that. You know, you gotta always be open and listening, and he will show up.
And that's the key. Be open, be listening,
Mm-hmm.
pick up books like this. I love
Yes.
that. When you were preparing to put your thoughts in this book, Chris, what was your process? Did you sit down and write it out, or someone said earlier, talking to a microphone? What was your process of putting all those thoughts together and coming up with this book?
Well, I had awesome help from our friend Cyrus, and he broke it down for me and made it simple. So like it was my wife's idea that my story meant something. She spoke to me and made me feel like, you know what? Yeah, I do have a story to tell.
Mm.
And then that was the seed. And then we spoke with Cyrus, and from then on, Cyrus helped me plan it out to where I can lay it and put it down in a book. So Cyrus, big help to him.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Mm.
And the key is I want people to get what you just said, because you had the story inside of you, but it's
Yes, yeah.
because of the circle you have around you that
Hmm.
pushed you to seeing into reality. But also
Yes.
you got the help that you need. How often do you see people not want to get the help or feel like they can't get the help? But you got the help that you needed so that this
Mm.
book can be out so that it can help others. Oftentimes people think their basement season is their final season, right?
Mm.
And
Yes, yeah.
this is helping them see.
Well, I mean, there was times where I thought that my that was it for me, the basement,
Mhm.
which it was it wasn't, but in me thinking that, I started to ground myself. I'm like, okay, if this is it, this is gonna be, I'm gonna make it great for me. Like I'm gonna make this small thing uh strong and stable for me. And then as I built that little thing, it got bigger and bigger. And then eventually I started to see how God was showing up, and
Mhm.
it was me coming making the basement my ground point, and I got
Yeah.
bigger and stronger. So like, it what's the word I'm looking for? It like it grounded me. It sustained me. Me being in the basement was my rock point. Hmm.
And I love that. And that right there is going to help so many people, because I know that in my what I refer to as dark season, in that season when I can take my, even now today, all the things that I've grown through, all the things, that doors that have opened for me, I can still find myself getting strength from a season that I thought was the worst season of my life. And I
Hmm.
refer to it as dark season, but it uplifts me and encourages me today. So thank you for that. Thank you, Chris, for sharing your journey, sharing your story. Let our
Yeah.
audience know, is there another book in there? What's next for Chris? For Chris?
But in all honesty, you would be the first to know that yeah, I've been thinking about it. I have been. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have been.
Absolutely. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
love it. I love it. Tell us, how can they get the book? How can they stay connected with you and stay caught up on all that you're doing?
Well, they can find me on LinkedIn. I'm I think it's Meet the Thurmans. And the book is on Amazon. It'll be out in August. Yep.
Okay, awesome.
And
Well,
it's
we're looking forward to getting our hands on it, and just congratulations to you for all your hard work and seeing it come out. Thank you
thank
again
you,
for
thank
sharing
you.
your journey with us here on the Melissa Banks Show.
Thank you for having me, Melissa.
Mhm. And thank you to our audience for joining us for this edition of the Melissa Banks Show. Our guest today, Christopher Thurman, reminded you that your dreams are possible and they are within reach, no matter where you're starting. So until next
Thank
time, I'm your host, Melissa Banks. Remember, your journey is unique, your dreams are valid, and you have the power to design the life you love. So keep believing, keep growing, and keep shining.